We're going to move on to Kinnah Yud Aleph. Vayikoinen Yirmiyahu Yoshiyahu. This is a Kinnah that just the story itself is incredible. But if you look carefully throughout the Kinnah, there's a theme. And when we connect to some of the themes in the Kinnahs, it could aid us in different ways and help us process our thoughts. Someone remarked last night after Kumsitz, what do I think? What do I do? When you have that real moment, you want to know, what are you supposed to think about? What do you do with yourself? When you think of the moments of destruction of Korban, but what now? This Kinnah, when Yirmiyahu is lamenting of Yeshua HaMelech, as you'll read it, you'll see he was killed with 300 arrows. But there's a few lines over here. There's a line, Davak boichet leitzane hadar. The leitzanos of the dar stuck to him. The leitzanos of the dar. Leitzanos is so gishmak. Leitzanos is so fun. Leitzanos, laughing, is the greatest thing in the world. But leitzanos doesn't just mean laughing. And what's the chait of leitzanos? It's a chait that unfortunately is very, very difficult in our world. It's a chait of making fun of things that are real. It's a chait of poking fun of people that are real. It's a chait of not realizing moments that are real. How often do we actually feel real and we're our own leaks? We almost pinch ourselves because we don't want to feel real. We don't want to do it. We want to escape that real feeling. But to go one step deeper, one of the greatest forms of leitzanos in our generation for sure, and probably this is nothing new, is leitzanos against our leaders. Leitzanos against our gedolim. And in truth, when we read through the Kinnah, and many of the Kinnahs, the theme of not listening to the Nevi'im, and when we hear those words, we say, how is it possible? A Navi was told directly from Hashem. The Navi told Klal Yisrael what to do. So how is it possible that Klal Yisrael didn't listen to the Navi? In a similar vein, we should ask ourselves, we could go back over the last 5 years when we were all somewhat adults, and we could ask ourselves, there were certain moments that we felt this is for sure like a nevuah, a moment of COVID when all the shuls in the world have shut down, and it was so clear to everyone that the avodah is kedushas beis haknesses. Nevuah. Hashem spoke directly to every single one of us. And yet, where are we holding today? We all know the greatness of our gedolim. We all know personal stories of Rav Chaim Kanievsky giving brachas that were mekuyam. And yet, when Rav Chaim said something that we, our silly, puny minds couldn't comprehend, we make fun of it. We all trust our Rabbeim, our Rabbanim implicitly. We sign up for that. And when we have real challenges, and we're going through really difficult moments, and we have such lack of clarity, and we need someone to speak to, who do we call? Who does the Talmud call late at night when he has no one to turn to? Who does he call? He doesn't want to turn to his parents because he's embarrassed, and he doesn't want to, so he pulls up a number of an old Rebbe, and he calls the Rebbe. And yet that same Rebbe, when he tells him this is what he should do, he makes fun of it. Leitzanos. Leitzanos is something that is so difficult. And we read the Kinnah of Yirmiyahu HaNavi lamenting the death of Yeshiyahu HaMelech, one of the greatest malachim. And we see the words, Davak boichet leitzane hadar. It's a moment we have to look inside and we have to ask ourselves, laughing is good. Fun is amazing. Jokes are gishmak. but late Sunnis is devastating. Rabbeinu Yonah writes that there's a special level in Gehenim for those that belittle Talmidei Chachamim. It's a little bit scary. Unfortunately, it's become so prevalent and so rampant that anyone with a beard one can make fun of, that it comes to levels that just can't be. And maybe in a moment of realness, we all have to realize that we're all complicit with the crime of late Sunnis. And then when we continue reading the Kinnah and we see words that Sadeku Adonai Ki Marisi Fihu, proclaimed by Yeshivos HaMelech, doing tshuva, Seif Yamov. We all know that you can do tshuva in a moment. And maybe this could be that moment. Maybe as we sit on the floor and we see those words of late Sunnis, and we're feeling a little bit more real and a little bit more authentic and a little bit more on fire, maybe we all have the ability to pause and make a decision. No more late Sunnis. That doesn't mean no more fun. The opposite. It's more fun. It means that the moments, and we all know those moments, and it could be a moment, it's in the middle of a good speech and you feel real and you just make a joke to the guy next to you. Why? Why are you doing it? It's true. You might not even thought about it. It just happened. Sometimes it's a good line, and sometimes they are good lines, and sometimes they're funny, but it's late Sunnis. It's killing the moment. It's killing the person. It's making fun of something real. It's making fun of a gadol. It's making fun of a rebbe. It's making fun of a yeshiva. It's making fun of Torah. How is that possible? And maybe on a random Tuesday, it's difficult to come to this realization. But on a Tisha B'Av, when we sit and we're a little bit more real, we can make this decision. And maybe we can even be greater than some of the adults in our life. And maybe we could be sitting around the table and we hear adults making fun of the Rav. How could the Rav say this? Who gives the Rav the right to say that? And maybe we could read publications that maybe people write in things, or different sites that people write in things, that everyone's doing it. They don't shut them down. They publish it. It must not be so bad. When you're saying that, you're realizing that your Heilig Neshama realizes it's wrong. And maybe the youth inside of us that has not been tampered with by some of the evils of society will allow us to make a firm decision. I will not talk badly about a Rav. I will not question. Of course, we're Yidden, we're allowed to ask questions. There's no such thing as ever not asking. Ask always. Ask respectfully. You're allowed to question from a place I want to understand. I want to be Makabel. Rebbe, I want to do what you're telling me. I just don't understand it. Can you help me understand it? You're allowed to question the yeshiva, but from a place of, I want to understand. Maybe, and if just this detail we could take out of this Kinnah, the whole world could change. If we could sit here and we could all think, and we all know what goes on out there. We all know, oh, this Rav, that speaker, oh, he's not a Rav, he's not a Talmid Chacham, and all of a sudden, every person has the right to weigh in on everyone else in the world. Maybe we have to realize that that's very, very inappropriate. And when we read these words, the words of Yirmiyahu Hanavi, let's make that decision, no more late Sunnis. And with that decision, we could try to go the opposite end of the spectrum. No more late Sunnis, and rather to follow the words of the Nevi'im, of the Rabbanim, of our Rabbeim. And hopefully, our lives will change drastically. And as we say, we need Beis HaMikdash because we have so much confusion. The greatest place to start with clarity, the greatest place to come to a place of realization is the place of our Rabbeim, our Manhigim, our Rabbanim. And the more we cling to them, the more we stop being Davak Boichet Leisani Hadar, but rather Davak to the Chachamim is the greatest place of clarity possible.